evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you happen to be in your corner of the globe. You are tuned in with Tammy from True Crime Discussions with Tammy. I don't have a topic in mind tonight, but I wanted to catch up with everybody to make sure everybody is having a wonderful weekend. If your weekend has started, how has it been? If you are still on Friday or wherever you happen to be in your corner of the globe, how's your weekend going anyway? Okay, long story short of things, guys, I'm here to discuss what I would like to see happen on my channel. And it might be something a bit abrupt for some people, but give me a sec. I'm just replying to my hopeful new gardener. Hopefully that goes through. Give me a sec, guys. Sorry. Okay, and I'm back. Sorry about that. I just had to respond to a message because now apparently my phone doesn't let me reply by just pulling down the screen and pressing reply. I actually have to go into it now to actually reply. So I apologise for that little moment of delay. But no, I would like to be able to send out thank yous to the people who have supported me since I've had my channel, people that have been in and out of my chat, people that have been on my panel, people who have bought from my Amazon wishlist, people who have donated to my PayPal, all of that. I want to send out a huge, huge thank you to each and every single one of you, because at the end of the day, it helps just knowing that I have people here who like to hear what I have to talk about. And if they don't, then obviously I'm not going to, yeah. So I'm trying my hardest just to stay alert to everything that's going on the YouTube route, and I'm steering clear of all of it because I do not involve myself in drama. And believe it or not, even if it does involve me, I still don't give a shit because I know my own mind, I know my own thoughts, and I know that if people want to talk about me, be my guest. I do not care. I appreciate the positive stuff people say, but if people want to be negative about me, who gives a shit? There's going to be people, like, you think about it, okay? I'm just a little YouTube channel, and there's going to be people that are going to talk about me in a disrespectful manner, and this goes for everyday life, even if I didn't have a YouTube channel. It comes down to the fact that if your life is that, how can I put it, to say something horrible about me, if your life is that sad that you think that you need to insult somebody you don't even fucking know, then what the fuck? You know, there are people out there who sometimes give out wrong information and they're ridiculed for that. And I find, hello to the 4 people that are listening. I find that very, very sad because at the end of the day, I've always been a victim of being someone who is a bully. I've always been a victim of being their target, whether I'm too fat or I'm too thin or I talk too much, I don't talk enough, I'm not open and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, well, hey, Sonia, how you doing, sweetheart? It comes down to the fact that I'm not open with many people. That's just me. Like the other night, I wanted to do a Q&A and let's just say that didn't really work well. It didn't become a Q&A. It became a Chris Watts special. Thank you to True Tam for coming up here and doing that too, by the way. I much appreciate your support that night. And any night I get your support, I appreciate it. Hey, Ara, how you doing, sweetheart? I just see it as that with what people put out there on the internet, whether it's wrong information or anything like that, and then people such as myself who have a channel, sorry, and then choose to report on it. How are we responsible for what the paparazzi is allowed to put out there? I think it's disgusting that people are getting ridiculed for that sort of shit. Like, that's why I steer clear of drama. If I go into a channel and I think that they're talking about someone I generally care about, I skedaddle because I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be associated with people bashing someone that I care about because at the end of the day, we're all here for whatever reason, whatever case we're discussing, we're all here for the right reasons. We're not, some people, unfortunately are here to line their pockets, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's what your choice is. My choice is to receive donations when I get them. If I get someone purchasing something off my Amazon wish list, both of those things are bonuses in itself. But just knowing that I have people from all over the globe listening to a little Aussie girl, well, I was going to say little in height. I've been told I'm a short ass, but in little as in size, no. I'm a little fatty boomba, as people would say in the day. And I'm proud of that fact. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not proud, but I'm proud enough to know that certain things that I used to wear that used to be skin tight around my stomach, I can now like stretch it out and it's like there's room to move and it feels good for me. So I'm like losing weight the way I know how, which is basically eating as healthy as I can and doing what I can to stick to my diet. When I do, like I'll eat salads regardless of the season, but I'll try my hardest to have at least 4 salads a week, whether it's for 4 salads at lunch or 4 salads at dinner or 2 and 2. It doesn't bother me. I just love making my salads when I can. Now, I'm on a different note. Like I said, there has been times where I have been the topic of discussion. Thanks, Zara. You're a sweetheart. There have been times when I have been the topic of a few things going around on the YouTube circuit. But in saying that, it did hurt me. There's no doubt, no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It does hurt when you're talked about in a negative way. But the thing is, though, if you allow it to hurt you more than it should, like if someone says to me, Tammy, you go on your channel, you don't talk about true crime. I do, actually. I've done my 5 of my last lives, I think, 4 or 5, where it's been either about the Beaumont children or it's been about Chris Watts. So either way, it's been true crime. So I think I'm entitled just to have a night where I just talk about random shit. But like I said, I don't see how, I admire people such as Ara, and I'm not just saying that because she's in here, but she does her research. She does do true crime on her channel, and she is amazing at it. But for me, sometimes it gets a little bit, how could I put it without sounding like a total fucktard? Sometimes it gets hard to do that, like every day, twice a day, whatever. So I choose to sometimes take a breather from it and just talk about things in general. So then people know that this isn't just a true crime page where you come up here on panel or you're in chat and you discuss true crime. I don't want my channel to be specifically about that. I want people to feel as though they can open up and talk about if they've had a bad day at work or they've had a rough few days and they're just feeling a little bit flat, and hopefully they can come in here and be cheered up and not have to think that they can go into every channel just about that's on YouTube these days is basically surrounding about true crime. I want people to know that there are channels out there that discuss true crime, and there are channels out there who can have a little bit of fun here and there. You know what I mean? So I just don't want people to think that that's what my channel's all about, because it's not. If you if you want to talk about something, press the link. If you need a link, let me know and I'll drop it down in chat. I'm going to try my hardest not just to drop the StreamYard link because it's something to do, but I will be dropping it if people want to come up here and talk about something. If you are, by any chance, when you're on in my chat or on my panel, excuse me, you do find certain things offensive, I can't apologize enough if you do, but at the same time, you've got to remember that when I first started my channel, my motto was that everybody that comes up on panel is entitled to either defend themselves because they're being picked on another channel, or to be able to talk about something and have their opinion heard. I don't want anyone to ever feel as though that their opinions aren't validated on my channel, because they are. Because when they come up, their panel is basically their property. The only choice I get is if they're getting a little bit, too gruesome or too full on, then I need to, pull rein, obviously. But if you're up here and you're talking about something that's on your mind, you're fine. Like I said, there are people out there who make people feel bad for coming into their chats and talking about a problem. People that I consider my dear friends who are on my Facebook, I see it as they are absolutely there for me 100%. And I thank each and every one that has actually, when they see my ugly mug appearing on their phone when their phone's ringing, they answer it. So I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Thank you. Um, I have been asked by outsiders of YouTube, why would you want to keep your PayPal in your description as well as your Amazon wish list? Why not just have one or the other? And it comes down to the fact that how can I put it without being a bitch? Amazon does unfortunately eBay and Temu, who I definitely recommend them. They're very cheap. Temu and Wish and all those other pages you can get, AliExpress and all that kind of crap. The thing is, though, they've got all of them out there, but Amazon's the only one that has a wish list. So I see it as that if people don't want to purchase anything, but they want to give back, that's why the PayPal's there. In the same for why do I have my Amazon there if I have my PayPal? It's because people do find Amazon too expensive, but they want to contribute. They can put money in my PayPal, put money in, or if they want to buy something off my Amazon because I think that they can't afford something to do the PayPal thing, they can do that. I shouldn't have to ever, like, this is the thing that I've discovered as well, is that I should never have to explain why I do things on my channel, because even though it's a community channel and all the rest of it, it's my channel, it's my name there. So that happens. But whatever happens, happens, so to speak. But tonight, here in good old South Australia, the football's on. Yay! And for those who don't know what I mean, we mean the Australian Football League. Okay. And I'm telling you now, oh my God, it's so annoying. Like, it seems to me like it doesn't matter what team's playing. I have the most obnoxious neighbour who just cheers and abuses the umpire or referee or whatever the fuck it is, you know? And it's like, they can't fucking hear you. So what are you trying to do, man? Like, fucking shut up. I'm a horrible person. I'm such a horrible person. Like, if the goalie, for example, says it was a goal when it was a point, or it was a point when it was a goal, it's like, who gives a fuck? Not me. But no, I am going to be, hopefully within the next few weeks, I think I will be doing either a live, and my brother will be the camera person because he'll be most probably working. So I've got to work in when he's not. And I'm hoping that we can go down to Glenelg together and we can take you on, what do you call it, on a tour of the last movement, so to speak, of the Beaumont children, which I've been talking about quite a bit on this channel as of late. So I'm very interested in that. And there is a man that does have a YouTube channel, and he talks about the Beaumont children. And I emailed him and asked him if he would like to be a guest on my channel, because I made communication with him about a year ago. And me being me, I completely forgot all about it until then I emailed him the other day, but he's got commitments. Him and his sidekick that works with him named Bill. And now here's the amazing thing. When he wrote the email back, he said that I pointed out some good points. And that because he said he listened to it. And for me to hear that kind of feedback, he was the co-author of the book, The Saturn Man. And I have not been able to read the book as of yet. I've read half of it, but I've got to read the other half when I can. And it's like the Beaumont children is a case that I am very, very passionate about, very, very interested in. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, the Beaumont children were 3 children that went missing from Glenelg Beach in 1966. They were last seen at Wenzel's Pie Bakery, I think it was called back then. And then they just disappeared, as they say, into thin air. Now, not one single thing of their belongings was ever, ever, ever recovered. But the man who was a suspect after the meth, his name was Harry Phibbs. Now, when he passed away, his wife allowed a person, again, I'm not mentioning names because, I don't want to be get accused of doxing, but he went into the house and he found a purse that matched Jane's, like, the size, the shape, the colour, everything. And when he questioned her about it, she goes, "Oh, I picked that up from like a second-hand shop." So that was very sus. But then when he went back, she was basically just told him to, leave and all that sort of stuff. So that's a bit things I would like to go into and actually have a closer look at. I would like to be able to go and, like I said, do even if it's a pre-recorded live that I do, so that way I could then be in chat and look at the feedback I'm getting, because I've never done a pre-recorded live before. Whereas if I'm doing a live while I'm doing this, my brother will be in charge of, holding the phone, reading out comments, and then I could get distracted, so to speak. So I may do a pre-recorded live. So fingers crossed that works in my favour, that I can arrange to do that in the next coming weeks, I hope, but time will tell. Yeah, so that's one case I would like to be able to, like I said, do more information searching on. I will be going to hopefully on the same day or so. I could go with my mum or my brother to most probably my brother. Excuse me, to the state library in town, where they have all these old newspapers and stuff on a projector. And I'm hoping that if I can find around the time the Beaumont children went missing, I can pick up the old newspaper articles and see what they were actually saying back then. Now, I'm way out of line, according to what some people have said to me, by saying that I think the dad had something to do with the disappearance of them. But I just find it odd how he was halfway to Snowtown and he got told that the job was cancelled. Now, you got to remember, guys, this wasn't like in 1996. This was in 66, where car phones weren't around, CB radios weren't around because they came out in 1973, I think, and mobile phones, car phones, and CB radios weren't around back then. So my opinion is, if he was halfway to Snowtown, how did he get the information that his job had been cancelled? And then when he got up there as well, because he was a travel salesman. Now, this is something that I figured out the other night that was very strange. He was a traveling salesperson for fabric. Harry Phibbs liked satin fabric. Now, this is going to probably be stupid to say this, but was there a connection there? Nobody knows. Hey, Kerry, how you doing, sweetheart? It makes me wonder, was there a connection between Jim Beaumont with his traveling fabric job and Harry Phibbs, who apparently it took about, I'm going to guess here because I can't remember exactly how many. I think they said between 3 and 4 carloads of satin material and dresses that Harry Phibbs had made after he died. It took 3 or 4 carloads to get rid of it all. Now, did Jim Beaumont supply any of that to him? Or did Harry Phibbs go and buy it? I don't know. See, little things like that I would like to know about. But then they said that Harry, I'm going good. Jim came home early because he heard that the children were missing. How would he have got that information? Because if you're a travel salesperson, you don't just go to one place and then stay put. When you're a traveling salesperson, from what I remember when my father used to talk to me about, his dad was a travel salesperson, but he did it for stationery and all that kind of shit. Makes me wonder though, like, 'cause he would go knock door to door salesperson, go, hello, do you need any knives? Or no, not knives. Do you need any pens or office supplies or something? Sorry, guys, I've got to put myself on mute because I've got a cough. Give me a sec. And I was talking. There's no point doing that, is there? Talking while I'm on mute. That makes no sense. But yeah, the Beaumont children, and the thing is though, that there's another lady out there who says that when Jane went and ordered all the stuff from the bakery, she handed over a £1 note. Now, everyone keeps on saying that Nancy is adamant she didn't hand it over to them. Now, I'm not sure if it was Nancy or Jim who in later years developed, I I want to say Alzheimer's, but I'm not sure if it was that. I'm not sure which it was, but Alzheimer's or dementia or whatever it was. But like I said, it's very hard to know if Nancy just forgot that she did, because of the amount of stuff that Jane was meant to stop off at the bakery and bring home food for them to all sit around and have lunch together and all of that sort of stuff. And she was only handed sixpence, I think they said. So this is really bad, but I do things by memory. I try and remember everything what it was like back then, because in 1966 Australia was in the early stages of swapping over from pounds and pennies and all of that to the dollars we use to this day. So who knows? But what I'm saying is the £1 note, the only reason I personally believe is that the reason it's caused such controversy and thinking that it came from Harry Phibbs is because Harry Phibbs was known to hand out £1 notes for people when they did jobs for him. These two young men at the time, they dug a hole in his factory, out back of his factory. They dug a hole. And when they had finished, he paid them with 2 crisp £1 notes. And then when Jane was seen handing over a £1 note at the bakery, I'm thinking to myself, so you're going to tell me that Harry Phibbs, out of everybody that lived in Glenelg and everything like that, Harry Phibbs was the only person to have ever handed out £1 notes. Now, apparently he didn't go into the bakery with the Beaumont children when they ordered all that food. Apparently, according to what I've researched, they said that the pie was for the man. Then I later hear that the pie was for little Grant Beaumont, the little 4-year-old one, is because he didn't like pasties. Now, you've got to ask yourself, if he was going to try and kidnap them, yes, it probably would have been wise to go into the bakery and all that sort of stuff. But what happens if they went in there and they raised the alarm by saying, hey, there's this man outside, he's harassing us, can you please protect us, or something like that? Because Jim, the dad of the Beaumonts, was very apparent when he goes, oh, Jane's a very smart girl. You only have to tell her once. She didn't talk to strangers. So you've got to ask yourself, if she did talk to strangers, why would she feel comfortable talking to this person who they refer to as the man? Things like that confuse me when I hear about certain things. And it's very interesting how what I hear here in Australia and research in here in Australia and look into on YouTube and all of that sort of stuff is so much more different from what I hear when I listen to how Americans tell what happened to the Beaumont children and how they pronounce things. And when they go Glenelg, no, it's Glenelg. Glenelg. It's the same. It's spelt the same as it is backwards. So I can't remember what that kind of word is called. But where you just say it's a word that can be spelt the same forward as well as backwards. So that was very interesting. But yeah, to know that nothing of theirs was found, that actually shocks me. Now, when I said about the hair tie thing, my mum pointed out, well, they wouldn't have probably needed hair ties because each and every one of them had short hair. That is true. So we'll exclude that. We'll just say, what about a hairbrush or a towel or the book that Jane was reading? Sorry. 1 sec. Oh, excuse me. That Jane was reading. She was reading a book called Little Women, and that book was never recovered. The bag she was carrying everything in, never recovered. The purse, supposedly, if it wasn't that one that was found in the Phibbs's home, never recovered. So many things were never recovered. So you got to ask yourself, guys, what the fuck is going on? You think about some cases, they get solved quite quickly, but the fact that nothing of the Beaumonts was ever found, it's just, for me personally, it's just really fucking sad. Nancy and Jim, may they rest in peace. Both of them have passed away now, so they went to their graves having no idea what happened to their children. Now, this is where I'm going to probably get into a lot of trouble, and I've said this before, but this time I mean that I'll probably get in trouble. If either one of them or both of them suffered from the memory loss condition, and they couldn't remember things like their children and stuff like that. I'm sorry, but that was, for me personally, I would consider that a blessing, because I would not want to continuously live every single day thinking I have children and they're going to come visit me, and then you've got to tell people, then continuously have the job of telling them after again and again, look, your children, we don't know where they are. Your children have been missing since 1966, and you have to console them. And then the next day they forget what you told them the day before. Then they come back and they go, "Where are my children?" And then it's like you have to tell them again. So that would be a very, very fucking hard job to have that, and a very, very hard thing to do, because they've got no grave. They've got a memorial plaque down at the Glenelg for them, and I will be taking you on, like I said, when I go on the tour of Glenelg, I will be taking you to that memorial site. I think it's still there. I hope it's still there. I don't know. It might have been taken down. Who knows? Governments all over the world are fucked. But I'll see if I can find it, and if I can, then obviously I will show that. But like I said, I'm going to do a pre-recorded live down it today and see what I can find. I might even bring I'll bring Andy, but I'll also bring my mum with me, so she can point out a few things that are very interesting, because even though she was very young herself when this happened, I think she was 11 going on 12 that year, she can probably point out certain things, because if the bakery, I don't know if it's still the same bakery, I don't know, but she can point out where it was and all that sort of stuff. She can point out. But if I go to the Beaumont's former home, just know that there's a big fence around it now, and you won't be able to see the actual house because of that said fence that's been put up. And I think the people that bought that house were very smart to put that fence up, because you think about it, look how many people would drive past and look at the Watts house, like it's like a scene out of a movie that was filmed there. It's not what happened in that house. Like Tree Tam said the other night, nothing happened in that house. No one was murdered, because if there was a murder that took place in that house, the dog would have picked up on it, and the dogs didn't. So, yes. So who is actually still in here? Please make yourself known while I quickly go grab myself a drink. I'll be right back. Hey, Melody. And I'm back, guys. Hello. But like I said, to know that there's nothing that's been found of anything to do with the Beaumonts, it's really, really fucking sad. Not so much as even a shoe, not even so much as a top, not, you know what I mean? It's just like, what the fuck? And then you hear about some cases, like when I go onto YouTube and create my little crime playlist before I go to bed, I hear about cases that have been solved after 20 years in 2023. And I'm thinking, come on, there has to be something there has to be someone out there who would have told somebody something about where even their belongings are, like to have a memorial down at the beach for them, that's really sweet. But to know that there's no grave, and there was nowhere for Nancy to go to put flowers on her children's graves. There was nothing for Jim to go and put flowers on his kids' graves. Like they divorced. I think it was about 3 years or so after they went missing. I'm not actually sure when they divorced, but they ended up divorcing, which is really sad. I think it was just too much for both of them. So, excuse me. But like I said, it's just for me personally, I find this case very, very, very sad. Like, obviously, I wasn't born in the 60s, but I can say this for sure. That's when Australia began to lose their innocence of 66. There were a few murders and kidnappings and all that sort of stuff prior to that. But I think I'll be more specific. I think that's when Adelaide started to lose their innocence. Because before that, you're able to leave your front door unlocked, you're able to sleep with your windows open. You could even watch TV in your backyard, meanwhile your front door's left wide open, and nobody would even think twice. How you been keeping, Melody? Nobody would even think twice about breaking in or causing a scene or killing someone. No one even think of that. And the fact that this has happened, and from that, like my mum, like I said the other night, she wasn't even allowed to go see her grandmother without my grandmother going with my mother to see her mother, because it wasn't even that far away. It's just, for me, it's just really, really fucked up. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and, like I said, touch base with everybody, make sure everybody's okay. Sending out all my love to everybody who's listening on now or on replay. There are documentaries on TikTok. I'm going real fucking good today. On YouTube about the Beaumont children. So if you want to do research on that, and then feel free to, and obviously, and then feel free to join me on panel the next time I go live and talk about it. Yeah, you'll get the ability. I promise you that, doll. Like I said, I just want everybody just to be happy and cheerful and all the rest of it. And like I said before, just don't give in to the drama that's going on YouTube. If you don't like drama, stay the fuck away from it. That's the best advice I can give. Tell your friends if they don't like drama, tell them to join my channel. I steer clear of that shit. It's hard to, because you really want to be able to say something. But like I said, whatever gets put onto YouTube at the end of the day is 9 out of 10 times it's already public knowledge. Like, I keep my private life off YouTube. There are some people who I trust that know a lot about me away from YouTube. And, it's sometimes I question that, but not all the time. Okay, guys, like I said, I'm going to head off because I've got to go figure out what to do for dinner and endure another hour and a half of my neighbour yelling and screaming. If there's anyone, including you, Melody, when I say this, if there's anyone out there who would like to talk to me away from YouTube, please feel free to find me on Facebook. My name on there is Tammy Wells, WELLS. Just don't send a message to the one with a camera around my neck, because that is my old profile. Find the one where it's got like a bit of a yellow, I'm going good, orange and pinkish background, and me there with my hair onto one side and smiling like I've just scored something. Got a root. There you go. Please feel free to add me on there and introduce yourself if you use a different name that you don't use on when you come onto my channel. But yeah, I've got to go figure out what to do for din-dins, as they say. And I will talk to you all again soon. So all of you, take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Don't be so hard on yourselves. When you're feeling down, just let yourself feel those emotions. Don't be ashamed to be upset. Don't be ashamed to cry. Don't be ashamed to ever feel like you have to be happy all the time for other people. Be happy. They used to say to myself, oh, just fake it till you make it. And then I realized, if people generally care about me, they know who I am, they come over and see me, they see that my house is a mess, but they don't pay attention to the mess. They see that I'm a mess. Like, every day I miss the people that are no longer in my life, whether they've walked away or they've passed away. Either way, it's very, very, very emotional. And, it's very hard to mourn someone, though, when they're still in your life. Well, still in your life. They're still alive, but they're not a part of your life anymore. That's what gets me as well, is that when people that have been part of my life since I've had my channel and then suddenly just fade away like they weren't even there, that hurts a lot. And I wish them nothing but the best. I wish them nothing but a happy life. And yeah, so like I said, if you want to do some research, any of you that are listening to this on replay or as I'm talking now, you want to do your own research on the Beaumont children, then come up and join me, then feel free to. I would absolutely love that. But I have to go do something for my dinner, because if I don't eat before, say, 8 o'clock, even though it's not near there yet, but if I don't eat before 8 o'clock, then there's no point in me eating, and I don't particularly want to go hungry, so I've got to go eat something. All right, all of you, love yous all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But if you do have another thing quickly, if you do have a topic in mind you'd like to talk about and you want to talk about it on my channel, please feel free to let me know. And then, oh God, now he's laughing. He's a drunk piece of shit. Sorry. Feel free to come up on panel and talk about it. There are certain things that I will not allow on my channel, like, but feel free if you want to come up and talk about something on my next live, feel free. But in the meantime, if you wish to donate, my PayPal's in the description. All money is much appreciated. All right, guys, because like I said, I know money's tight for a lot of you and all of you. I respect that and understand that completely. If you don't wish to donate, but you also want to, if you just want to send me a gift, feel free to do that also. I have an Amazon wish list and I'm so sorry, but there's no other way to do a wish list. I wish that eBay would create a wish list, because then some of the things I see on Amazon that is in my wish list, excuse me, I've seen them cheaper on eBay. So, but keep in mind, Amazon, their delivery service, oh my fucking God, is it fast? It's like, boom. It's like, wow, okay, it's here. But like I said, please feel free to do that. And if you see on my on the Amazon wish list that there's 2 of something, don't think that means I want 2 of them. It just means that at the time when I was creating my wish list, I sometimes go back through the actual pages, and I sometimes find the item cheaper. So that's the only reason that you might see 2 of something in my wish list. I have 2 quilts in there. Sometimes the first one that I put up there when I first saw that and put it on my list, it was $59.95. Fuck knows how much it is now. Then there's a woolen one that when I put it up there originally it was $59 as well, and then the prices fluctuate with Amazon. So please don't think I'm trying to be greedy, because I'm not. Sorry, give me 1 second. Sandra, hello. How are you? Welcome from Newcastle. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But like I said, it all comes down to the fact that whatever you decide to do, whether it's support my channel financially or whether it's to support my channel by just buying me a gift so I've got a reason to smile the next day, feel free to do either way. Or just be here and enjoy when I go live. That's the most important. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, guys, I'm so... Oh, my gosh. I don't know what I'm going to do for dinner. This is when I wish I knew how to make sushi, but I've got no, at the moment I've got nothing to put in the sushi, but times like this, I wish I knew how to make it. Every time I make sushi, and this is not a shadow of a lie, it looks like a limp dick. I can't get a firm enough grip on it to make sure that it looks firm. So it looks firm. Mine looks like it doesn't look very attractive. So I'm hoping that if I can find, like, say, a sushi kit on Amazon, I could put that on there, but they're also cheaper on eBay. So if you can help, please do. If you can't, then that's fine too. Please do not feel free. Please don't feel free. Please don't feel as though it's an obligation, because at the end of the day, it's not. Just having people in my chat who say g'day with with such enthusiasm, like Sandra just did, with purple hearts. Woo, woo. Purple hearts for Tammy. Purple hearts for Tammy. Yeah, I'll shut up there. But yeah, I'm going to head off, but I'm going to be back in a couple of days to do another live. It won't be the pre-recorded live because I've got to wait and work in with my brother on that. If, like I said, if you wish to donate, PayPal, please do that. Because at the end of the day, like I said, things on my wish list, there are a few things on there that I've actually found on eBay cheaper. So, but if you do want to buy something off Amazon because of the delivery side of things, because it's fast, it's good, it's quick, but you don't want to create an Amazon account, keep in mind, this is just an idea. If you wish to purchase me something off my Amazon wish list but don't want to create an account, please feel free, and this is entirely up to you guys, please feel free to put the money into my PayPal, and where you can put a little message with it, please include what you would like me to purchase off my was grand. Oh, thank you, Sandra. That's really sweet of you to say that. Thank you. But like I said, if you like I was saying before I got sidetracked, if you wish to put something into my PayPal and go, for example, there's a cookbook in there that there's 3 in there, I think, that I really want to get because it's cooking on a budget. And that's something I'd really, really like to be able to get into. But what happens is that if you don't want to, like I said, create an Amazon account, what you can do is you can send me the money through PayPal. And then what I can do then in return is I can, excuse me, Jesus Christ, that's a bad cough. But anyway, it's a dry, but it's still phlegmy. It's gross. But anyway, you can put the money into my PayPal. Just list in the little notes area what you wish for me to buy with that. Now, also keep in mind, if you just say, for example, Sandra, you put $50 into my PayPal, I'm not asking you to. I'm just doing an example. And you don't add a note to that to say, oh, this is for the Elvis Presley apron on Amazon, I'm going to assume that the $50 you put in there is just for whatever reason. You know what I mean? So you've got to be really careful when you're doing the Amazon wish list. Don't want to create an account and you send me money. It is for something on my Amazon wish list. You have to make sure you include that when you send it. Because if you don't include it, I'll just put that towards my very expensive gardening job that's coming up, or my house cleaning, or a pair of shoes. You know what I mean? Because it's very, very hard to be able to, excuse me, it's very hard to be able to say when people go, oh, did you get that thing off Amazon I sent you money for? Well, no. Oh, well, I sent you money for that. Well, it's like, well, hang on a second. Yes, Elvis Presley's a babe. I love him to bits. He's so hot. Excuse me. Shit. I'm really sorry for coughing on camera, guys. I shouldn't be. I should put myself on mute, but then I'll be muting myself all the time. But like I said, if there is something you see on my Amazon wish list, please feel free to purchase it. If you don't want to create an account, but you want me to still have it, send the money through PayPal. I'll probably go through my wish list in a little bit, but yeah, please feel free to do that because every bit of money I make, it does go to something worthy. Don't worry. But also, if you're able to purchase something off my Amazon wish list, then that's awesome too, because then that way, every time I look at it, here's something else you have to know. If you purchase something off my Amazon wish list, you buy it yourself. You don't get me to do it. I do not get told who buys it. Okay. So, long story short of things, if Melanie was to go onto my Amazon wish list and she wanted to buy me, say, the dragonfly earrings, necklace or whatever that's on there, hypothetically, I only find out is if I go back onto Amazon and it tells me someone has purchased this for you. They don't tell me who it is. Hang on. I wish you could see my Elvis one. I see my one of Elvis portrait. Well, honey, find me on Facebook. Find me on Facebook and you can add me on Messenger and then you can show me. Yes. But you see, the thing is with me, with Elvis, though, it's, oh, God, I'm going to get in trouble for this. I never liked him when he did the 68 or the earlier shit, like when he was in the army and all of that. I liked him personally from Aloha from Hawaii onwards. And does that make me sound like a horrible person? Please be honest with me. Yeah, Sandra, if you can find me on, like I said, on Facebook. I don't know how to get the page up. Can someone who is friends with me on Facebook go on there and then? Oh no, that's going to be too difficult. Don't worry about it. I can't remember how to do that. It's all good. But yeah, if you can, Sandra, just find me on Facebook, honey. Oh, it's by your niece. Even better. I'm just telling now it's going to be an amazing picture because any child, or I can't say child, but she might be around my age. I don't know. But anytime someone, child, adult, does pictures of Elvis, I always find it incredible. But like I said, I find Elvis attractive from Hawaii onwards. And I always get criticised for it because my ex-partner, who once had a weight problem, doesn't anymore, but he used to have a weight problem, and he goes, "Oh, you only like him when he was fat, so then I don't feel bad." I'm like, no, it's because when Elvis started singing in his earlier days, as we all know, he could wiggle his hips and shake his leg and look like he was mounting the bloody microphone stand when singing Hound Dog. He got that reaction because of those kinds of things he did. Now, for me, when Elvis did From Hawaii onwards, in a lot of ways, you think about it, he had to rely solely on his voice. Oh, and Sandra, do not send us information to the. There's a picture of me. There's 2 profiles of mine. One with me with a camera around my neck and a grey top and doing the peace sign. Don't add that one because that one I don't have access to. Find the one where my hair's onto one side and a black top is over my shoulder and I'm smiling like I've just been laid. Mind you, I don't actually smile like that when I've just been laid. So that's, yeah, TMI. Oh, I'm glad that it's special to you, sweetheart. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, wow. That's impressive. But yeah, but like I said, now I'll be more than happy to talk about Elvis for a little bit, I suppose. Yeah. How's this? The thing that I am absolutely most happy about is that Priscilla okay, I'm going to be bad for saying this, but it's worth the risk. When I heard that she wanted to be buried at Graceland, I'm like, no. If there is any kind of normal person in this world, please do not let that happen. And sure enough, her request to be buried at Graceland was declined. When I heard that news, I was just so happy. Because at the end of the day, she was Elvis Presley's ex-wife. The moment she signed on that dotted line of October 73, she stopped being a Presley, in my opinion. But yet she wanted to be buried at Graceland? Like, come on. Oh, okay. Sorry, what year was that, Sandra? Sorry, I'm just a bit confused. Sorry, I was born that year. What year was that? In 73 or in 77 when he quote unquote passed away? I'm guessing you mean 73. 73, he did the concert for Aloha from Hawaii in January of 1973. And he did the Hawaii concert in January of that year. And he divorced Priscilla in 1973, she divorced him July 1954. Okay. Well, if your birthday hasn't been, happy birthday. If it has been, happy birthday. Oh, fucking hell. But no, I just think that 1973 is when Elvis really, for my opinion, started sounding good. Because if you listen to him when he was a young spring chicken singing American Trilogy, sounded okay. But when he sang, and I advise anyone, I'll even pin it in the comments down below after I finish the live, after I find it. When he sang American Trilogy in the Aloha from Hawaii, and I first heard it as an adult, I actually cried because it was so, so powerful. And excuse me, there's a part of the song when he goes, oh, hush, little baby, don't you cry. You know your daddy's bound to die. That was sad. It's like, oh my God. And I thought to myself, my dad's going to be around forever. No, no. My dad wasn't going to be around forever because he passed away in 2010. But I had a good solid few years with my dad, so I'm glad about that. Oh, sorry, I've got to continue reading messages. I keep forgetting. Sorry. Um, Yes. Yes, I actually cried when I got told. Because I was saying to my mum that when I heard that she was in hospital, suffered from a cardiac arrest, I said, she's not going to pull through this. She's not going to want to because Benjamin's not here. Her dad's not here. She's fighting with her mum, apart from being a grandmother just about a day or two before she died. She didn't really have a zest so much anymore. And then I got off the phone to mum and I said, well, if you hear anything, let me know. And she goes, oh, well, you've got friends in America. If you hear anything, you let me know. And the moment I got off the phone to her, my friend Elizabeth Anderson rang me and she goes, I have some news for you. And I'm like, what's that? She goes, Lisa Marie Presley's passed away. And I said, I'll call you straight back. And I composed myself in a way like I knew Lisa Marie. And I rang my mum and she goes, yes. Like, why are you calling me so soon? I'm like, she's gone. She goes, what do you mean? I'm like, Lisa Marie Presley's passed away. And it was really, really, for me, it was a shock because and then I watched on this thing the other night with her through YouTube, and she was saying, Lisa Marie was saying this, she goes, Graceland's mine, it's always been mine, and when it's no longer mine, it'll be my children's. And I'm thinking to myself, that in itself should have been cause for Priscilla to back the fuck off and stop trying to take over Graceland because, that makes $100 million a year, apparently. And that situation that was like, settled out of court where it should never have had to have been a court case to start with, because apparently Priscilla said that, I didn't know about being removed as Lisa Marie's executor. I wasn't informed of that. The signature doesn't look like Lisa Marie's and all this sort of shit. Like my signature's like I'm 41, and I'll be honest with you, my signature has been the same since I moved out of home. But before that, I was trying to find fancy ways to do my name, like all that sort of shit. So it was pretty fucked up of Priscilla to do that. I never beg, no. Not Sandra. Sandra Louise, you are not hogging the chat. You are fine, my darling. If any time you want to come up and talk about Elvis with me, Sandra, you are more than welcome to, my darling, because I can talk Elvis all the time. People that think that Elvis is still alive and that Elvis is Bob Joyce, I'm like, no. And the thing is, though, is that if Elvis is still alive and he is somehow in connection with Bob Joyce, let's just give in to those people who think that. Good on him. He's doing something he loves. Because he used to always have girls come up there and he would read to them from the Bible, for crying out loud. Like I'm not one to read the Bible because the print's too fucking small. But I'm sure that if I had someone as good looking as Elvis reading to me from the Bible, I'm pretty sure I would listen, I'm pretty sure lots of ladies out there would be the same. But yeah, you're not hogging the chat, Sandra. It's all good, darling. Yes, when Olivia Newton-John passed away. Yes, yes, yes. She was doing all she lived she see that's what I mean. Like, when I hear about, say, when Olivia Newton-John passed away, she was an Australian icon. She appeared in movies such as Xanadu, Grease. Can't remember for the life of me what else as far as movies go. I'm sorry. She was also in stage productions with John Farnham, who is apparently making a full recovery from his mouth cancer, which is a fucking blessing. Not that he would ever listen, but if you ever happen to stumble upon this channel, John Farnham, Australia loves you. But as I was saying with Olivia Newton-John did a main event with, oh my God, John Farnham, her, and I want to say Andy Warhol, but I could be wrong. So I apologize completely if I got that wrong. But yeah, she was battling cancer for quite some time. It went to her spine, so she was freaking out and stuff. So her daughter brought her marriage forward and they got married and all that sort of stuff. And she passed. When she passed away, it was really fucking weird because I had a feeling that, one of another Australia greats has gone. And then John Farnham's quote unquote road manager, I think he was, but they never had like a written contract. He passed away from COVID, and that was really fucking sad to hear that. And then like you said, Lisa Marie died, and then fucking a few other people. I can't think off the top of my head who else. Then I heard that the son of a bitch Rolf Harris died, and I was like, hallelujah. But yeah, it's just like it's really sad. Yes, she was. She was 29 when she appeared in Greece. Yeah, I know. But no, I think the death that still shocks me, non-celebrity wise, and this is going to sound really bad to say this though, but the deaths of people that really shock me are people that are involved in like a massacre, or they go to a concert and then then there's a dumbass who thinks, oh, let's shoot up this joint, let's just shoot people. Or what happened to the people on Titanic and all that sort of stuff, like everyday tragedies that strike people that don't deserve it, and there's people out there who live their lives like they do nothing wrong and live life by the Bible, and that's their choice, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, without being a bitch when I say this, if someone's holding a gun to your fucking head, a Bible's not going to save you. I'm sorry, but it's not. Unless they're made of bulletproof cardboard, I don't see how that's going to be able to save you. I'm sorry if that's being heartless, but that's just my opinion again. But I am going to go, guys. I'm sorry, but I have to. I have to go. Oh, yes. And Kirstie Alley, when she passed away, I didn't even know she had cancer. So there you go. But anyway, guys, like I said, I'm going to go because this is actually talking about people who have passed away is actually making me a little bit choked up, and I don't really feel like coughing again. But I need to go start my dinner, or attempt to anyway. But like I said, if you want to donate, donate. If you don't, that's fine too. But the PayPal's in there, the Amazon wish list is in there. Everything you could possibly need to know. If you want to get in touch with me, please find me on Facebook. And feel free to, if you don't want to add me, that's completely fine. Just feel free to send me a message, and I will return that message with return your courtesy message. I can't even think. Your delightful message by responding to you. So please, please, please feel free to message me, PayPal me, Amazon me, whatever you want to do. Just know that my life, I'm going to take a day or two to hopefully get over this sore throat, and I will probably be back on Monday or Tuesday. So everybody, enjoy your weekend, enjoy your nights, enjoy your days, and until next time, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye. Oh, before I go, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciate all the love and support. Bye bye.